comedy club,
After hours.
Comedian react.
Well, I use it a little bit. I like WeChat. I use a little bit of Facebook. For the most part, I like to stay really low-key,
Well, I think it plays a very important part in that life.
Yes, I love like WeChat, Douyin, and Little Red Book, and my favorite Instagram.
Living in China, it helps me communicate with friends and family back home.
I got like 10,000 fans on my Weibo. That's one. And I got maybe 100,000 on my Weibo. I got 10,000 fans on my Douyin. And I did social media. That's my job.
Basically for work. I pretty much avoided it in my social life.
There is, of course, benefits and drawbacks. Social media puts a lot of who you are to be kind of attacked, but also lets you express who you are and maybe draw people who love you as well.
I'm not really big on like getting attention or doing a whole lot of other things. For me, it's just a way to keep connections with older friends and stuff like that and family. But other than that, I don't use it much.
As an adult, you're busy with your work. Yeah, so you don't get to see your friends or family that often. And sometimes you just, let's forget about like tasks, like direct message. I'm talking about like WeChat moments or let's say Facebook posts, Instagram posts. Like you don't send them to anybody. You just post them.
For example, like Douyin, I like a lot of interesting videos, so I can just kill my time. And for Instagram, just I can actually get a lot of information, like more open. It makes me more open. And especially on Instagram, I watch a lot of comedy clips.
It keeps me updated on news and entertainment that I wouldn't be able to normally find in China.
I'm trying to do it really well, but I gave up. The reason is I don't have a lot of time or patience to do that. You have to make a new topic, like your own things to show the audience, and they have to be interested. They have to will give you a thumb up. That's a little bit too much work for me.
I know a lot of people use like WeChat moments. I have not used WeChat moments in about 2.5 years. Once I got rid of it, I was able to just live my life with some freedom. Besides, I got married too, so
I feel very fortunate that it's been a part of my life because I know my parents' generation had to write like actual letters, which is not convenient.
Some people might be very judgy that like, what to post. Like if you post some pictures of food, they'd be like, oh, that's so boring. But I think it's just like a sign of appreciating life.
Is there a favorite comedian you've found from Instagram?
Yes, not really from Instagram, but I really like Ali Wang. I like her style, like also Asian, this kind of style, just like it's my dream to be similar to her.
Is there anyone you wish you could have lost touch with?
Yes, everyone that I have lost touch.
I'm just want to do who I am. So if I can show you, that's great. If you didn't see me, that's great as well.
when you're married, you don't have time for social media. I think that's the problem, right?
That's the problem with marriage, social media.
Both. They conflict with each other. You can only choose one, but you don't know which one to choose. And the good thing, the one thing about social media is it doesn't like yell at you. It doesn't get angry. And when you're in time of need and you need to relax, social media is good. It helps you relax.
It's nice, even if I can't see my friends all the time, that I can see how they're doing when I'm not able to be there personally. So I would argue that's, of course, been a more beneficial thing overall, but like with any tool, you kind of have to be careful with how you use it and be aware of like the possible ways it might be used against you.
I think it's horrible for kids. I think kids are so brainwashed with wanting to get attention, especially for the wrong reasons. And I think a lot of the stupid things and the shenanigans that kids of this generation is doing is going to be forever cemented in the internet.
For example, when I was in primary school, Facebook was still available in China.
I think now just like for kids, I think just like everything is just so easy and so funny on internet. It's pretty easy to access. So maybe they lose a lot of interest on outdoors activities.
No, I believe that we all evolve and we adapt. So, I think it's going to affect a lot of, the kids today, but the strong will prevail and they will be okay.
This is survival of the fittest.
Always.
They make childhood think so much. But it's not a critical thinking. It's not deeply thinking. They will just see the different things in the world. For example, there's a Chinese word called 内卷. 内卷, what's the 内卷 means? It means you didn't pay a lot of things, but you lose a lot of things. Maybe kind of meaning. But elementary school students, he can use 内卷, but he don't understand 内卷. That's what is social media influence our childhood. They give you the information, but they didn't give you the thinking.
Well, we've always had social media. For example, in 1986, when I was in elementary school, we would write on a note. We would pass the note to the person next to us in the desk, and they would read it. And that was social media back then. Nowadays, students are on their computers and texting each other.
The problem here, I think, isn't necessarily the tool itself. The problem is you need parenting to go along with the new tool. So, just like when you have if you have a new object or so, like a new camera or something, you need somebody to help explain that to you so you know how to use it effectively, and they can help you avoid mistakes that might be catastrophic and very expensive, both emotionally or in terms of money, right?
Of course, when I was younger, I can say I did dumb things, but I didn't put it on Facebook, I didn't put it on Instagram, it wasn't on Twitter. So, it's forgotten. But I think kids are so infatuated with getting followers and getting views that they don't really have fun. They don't learn to just enjoy life. Everything's about taking a picture or taking a video or something instead of just enjoying the experience. So.
Do you think cyberbullying is just part of being a child now?
I think so. So actually, I cyberbullying. I experienced that myself when I was in high school.
Like even me, I'm an older gentleman. I know I don't look it, but and I have my difficulties keeping up with social media and technology. So, but if you want to be a part of it, you'll learn how to deal with it and accept it and take the good with the bad.
So you only got information. You didn't get knowledge, and you didn't get your moral things, your life things. So you I don't have any suggestion. But my feeling is just trying to think more when you see a thing. Don't believe it and go for it, or don't attack it, or just go to think about it. That's my opinion, maybe.
I think it's better if you are antisocial, because you don't have to actually talk to anybody. You don't have to communicate to people. You don't have to look them in the eye. You don't have to see their facial expressions or whatever. You can say whatever you want on social media. You could be a dick. You could be a jerk. You could say I love you to people.
One thing I've seen amongst a lot of younger people is their self-esteem ends up getting connected very easily with these portrayed images of themselves on social media. As parents, they have to help their children, and it maybe also educate their friends, like as a community thing, to see that this is not all of who you are, and that's okay, and help other people understand that, like, when somebody attacks this part of you, this is not an assault on everything that you are necessarily. Although there are, unfortunately, the internet's not full of mean-spirited people, but they're cowards.
I think they're learning that that's a good question. I think China does TikTok right, or Douyin, I should say, as it originally was. I think America is pretty much just gonna, even if it gets banned, another company is probably gonna remake a different type of app that's gonna do the same thing. But for the most part, I think China's looking at America saying, oh, okay, they're using things this way, we can see how they're regulating their social media. Of course, China has their own social etiquette, their own laws, their own way they kind of limit things on the internet. So I think they have a more controlled way of dealing with social media opposed to America. So they understand how things are getting out of control with the internet. And they're saying, okay, let's not make the mistakes that they're making. Let's not expose so many kids to it. let's not have so much ridiculous content that's maybe ruining people's lives.
I just want to say I have no comment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
They say this is a conspiracy. You know, they say TikTok is trying to poison the Americans like new generation's mindset. They make them hate each other and just hate their country. So and then split them.
Yeah.
So I don't really think so. To be honest, I mean, like yeah, America they have everything, right? They have Instagram, and Facebook, like Twitter. It's just like it's all like basically free. You can do anything, you can post anything. But now like TikTok is leading the role, right? How to say? It's playing the lead, kind of really getting more and more popular. So there is some conspiracy.
Banning anything, and I mean anything, is the worst thing a government can try to do, because I don't know, most of the time they create the problem, we react to the problem, and then they come up with their solution. But as a species, I think we're a lot smarter than our governments and any game that they're trying to play. I think that I think they should leave social media alone. But at the same time, I don't feel like they're stealing anything. We're American. We're too damn smart to have you steal anything important. But what I do think they're stealing is the way we are and the way we do things. And in the long run, it's going to hurt them, because the Chinese people are doing everything we did 20 years ago. So if they like the outcome of where America has went, they need to look forward to the outcome here in China, because it's going to be the same. You know, I'm talking divorce and, you know, drug use and alcoholism and just division as a whole. Right now, China is very, very, they're still very old school when it comes to family and, you know, traditions. But I feel like if they continue to copy off of, you know, the example that the American people have, you know, left for the rest of the world, they're just going to they're going to have the same problems that they are in America. So, I don't know. It's a really tough question.
I think knowledge have to be no limit, no matter countries. Knowledge is knowledge. That's for me. We will learn some, especially for psychological things or philosophy things, Western. But you know what? American government, they never want to push the American to learn Chinese knowledge, especially for philosophy one. But it doesn't mean Chinese philosophy knowledge is not useful for them. So that's just about what you think. So maybe you can just see whole world and you have your own selves. You just don't block yourself. So I don't think that's a good rule for me. I never go to TikTok to see some knowledge. But that's a website. That's just social media for me. I would just go look at. So I don't have. If you ask me how can we get some new knowledge from American except TikTok, I would say we have Instagram, we have WhatsApp. We can still use that, right? Social media. Yeah, that's it.
I think they banned TikTok. The reason they banned TikTok is because they can't control what is said on TikTok. People are listening to TikTok, getting different opinions, different views and stuff like that. And the people that run America don't like that. They like to control the narrative. They control all the news and stuff, you know. Kind of like what they project China's like, controlling all the news. But Western society is actually worse at controlling the narratives of the news.
I'm lucky.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
That's
Agree or disagree, I don't care.
Like we were so full of we have our heads upside our asses, and other people's asses also sometimes. But yeah, TikTok kind of just demonstrates like how like there's a word for this. When you could basically influence somebody, it'll come to me later. In essence, people are kind of impressionable. That's the word. And because they're impressionable, they'll do like this literally happened to a friend of mine. It's like tragic, but also like darkly hilarious in a fucked up way. One of my friends who's an American teacher, also black guy, was posting on Facebook. He was saying, I had a student who died doing a TikTok dance thing. It was like a backflip or some shit that everybody else was doing. And like, I know people in America want to find like, we have legitimate stuff we can blame for stuff, but it ultimately ends up coming back to ourselves in our country. We have to fix us, not expect the tool to be like, because all the other tools do the same stuff. It's just the United States wants to hate on China, and so whatever we can use in that thinking for the country is like, oh, TikTok, yeah, like they're trying to surgically remove any influence. But ultimately, it's kind of converse, like it's the opposite of what technically is supposed to be a capitalist free market, because like now you have the government playing favorites in terms of a marketplace of ideas, right?
You know, it looks bad. A lot of people doing a lot of stupid stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, a lot of people just doing ridiculous stuff just to get a quick view, just to make some money. I think it's a really bad look. I think people are looking at Americans and they're creating a stereotype in their mind based off what's popular on TikTok, but that may not be the status quo. And I think it waters down comedy. A lot of people do stupid stuff to get laughs, but there's no thought, there's no effort put in the content. It's just following the next trend. It's just doing what somebody else is doing. And there's no originality. It's just kind of monkey see, monkey do.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I just watch it to stay hip. I can't really say a favorite. But I'm definitely well entertained, and I love it. So I'm going to continue to watch it. But I do wish that there's a rumor going on that somebody is censoring, what the American people watch is different than what the Chinese people are allowed to watch, and it's different between, different countries. I think we should all be able to see what's really going on in the world. Trying to keep something hidden just makes the people want to find out more.
Comedy, stand-up comedy. If an actor or actress did a really good show, I love that movie. I'm crazy about it. That's my hobby.
I don't think it's a secret thing. I think everybody in the world knows Americans are pretty much retarded. I mean, they're dumbed down, they're too stupid. I don't think they're using TikTok to infiltrate the American society.
And what country are you from?
I'm from Canada. Now, in Canada, we're very smart. Trust me. We're very no. Canada's also a dumbass country too.
TikTok teaches us how ignorant we are. But the heavier thing is that like that's also a heavy thing as well. TikTok, it's only as dangerous as we are stupid. Let's put it that way.
I like that.
Because of my little rap book, it brings so many audience every time. Actually, I'm so proud of it. I just before I thought not so many people in Chongqing could speak English well and they could understand English well, and not so many Chinese people in Chongqing like English stand-up comedy. But it turned out I was wrong. I just used Xiaohongshu a month ago, and then it got more and more popular. More and more people just told me they would like to come. So I just mean sometimes you just need to make effort to let people know about us, the Chongqing Comedy Club. So I'm very confident it will grow better and better. Thank you. Because of social media, so thanks to Xiaohongshu.